Hello again. My name is Emma and welcome back. Okay, so we are, well, I am anyway, busy making rosettes. So I have been making a few of them. I made some out of crepe paper and then I made some out of cardstock and I'm trying my hand on making some out of lunch bags, you know, the brown paper lunch bag. So I'm trying my hand at that. So let me show you what I'm doing, okay? Hold on, I'm just gonna sit you down. Okay. So these were the first ones I made. I think I showed you guys these before. These were the ones that were made out of the crepe paper, which I think they came out cute, but I have to admit they did take a little long to make, but they came out cute nevertheless. Okay, so I put those aside, and then I decided to make some out of cardstock. Now the cardstock, which is like this width, it's like 1 inch by 8 3/4 long. So 1 inch, 1 inch, and 8 3/4 long. So these are the ones I made. And these are the ones that I made out of cardstock. Now these came out pretty cute. I like how some of them came out, because I tried to make sure I used the pattern, how some came out with the gold in the middle. Some were just plain. Again, another one with the gold in the middle thing came out. I mean, you can use whatever colorful patterns. I didn't want to use anything with writing or words on it, 'cause you're not going to be able to see it anyway. This was snowflakes in between. And then I had this one. It had reindeers, but you can barely see them. That's what I mean. It doesn't make any sense to have something like a picture or anything, because you really won't see them. So just regular, like anything that has a pattern that just keeps going on and on. This one had ornaments. Again, you can barely see them, but it's just the color. You can't tell whether they're ornaments or not. And then I made a tiny one, which was really, really hard to make. And I tried to put some holes in there and stuff, but yeah, and some embellishment around the edges. But this was really, as you could tell, put them side to side. This was a lot tinier, but this one was really hard to make. These were more doable, and they're a little bit more sturdier than the crepe paper. Okay, so put those all back in there. Now the one with the crepe paper, and let me get this glue gun out while we're waiting. I'll be doing this while I'm waiting for this to heat up. Okay, it won't take long. I think it's stuck to this thing. Okay, so definitely you want to use your cutting board. Okay, and like I said, it was 1 inch. I don't know if you can see it. You could do it this way. 1 inch, and then it was by 8 3/4 long. Okay, and of course you just, you know, slide it, and you want to cut it down the long way. And you want to cut it down this way, okay? And then if you're ready to cut it the long way, well, you have to take this up and then measure it, and then cut it this way with scissors. It won't take that long. Okay, so that's the width that you want, okay? And then after you got it to the width that you want, you're gonna start putting, using a scoreboard, which a lot of people, you know, a lot of crafters have this. Start using a scoreboard. And I already made some, as you can see, already has that, you know. You can cut it, you know, I used the scissors that have all those little different shapes on the end, or you can use what are those things, the punches, to give it some, like filigree, I forgot what it's called. Okay, so I already had done some, and what you do is you get your score, and you're doing it like I think it's like every eighth of an inch. Really small. I mean, you can gauge it. I mean, you know, they're not that big. I usually do, I think they're like an eighth of an inch. Or, let me see. I know they're not a quarter. They could be less than a quarter of an inch, or maybe a quarter inch, or less than a quarter inch. Yeah, about a quarter, less than a quarter inch you cut. Well, you could judge how the thickness of how you want it. So I already scored them. If you can see, everything's already scored, and you do it on your scoreboard. And then when you're done, then you start, you know, like an accordion, you just start folding them up. Now what I do is that every time I fold them, I press them as hard as I can. As hard as I can. And like that. Pressing them. And pressing them again. Then I get them all together, try to do the same. As tight as I can. I try to squeeze as tight as I can, because you really want them, you know, those edges to come out really, really creased. So there you go, and the pattern's on this side. And you want to do it backwards. You want to have the outside, you want the inside of the pattern in the hole, okay? You want the white part on the outside. So usually it has to be one going up and then one going, you know, one going down and one going up. So as you can see, you have to have this one connecting to this. Let me see if I can. There's some of this come out already. I might have to cut. I'm going to have to cut one out because I want to make sure it's connecting. So you get your glue gun. Very, very little glue. You don't even need a whole lot, just very little. Then you grab this end and you just glue it together. And then you just want to press it a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Now the fun part is trying to make sure that you press down that hole in the center and that the part you just glued doesn't pop open. And then of course I always make little like circles to cover the top once I'm done. Okay. Okay, so you have this part, okay? And then what you're gonna do, usually I try to grab where I glued it down because it's a lot more safer, because you know it's gonna stick. And then you just push down. and just push it down, and you probably can't see it from all the way over there, and you try to hold it as tight as you can, and you're gonna put the glue like around the edge, because you want the center to stick to each other, and then you're just pressing it tight to one another. I gotta get those things. I have a little glue gun, little sponge holder, and I have it somewhere, but I'm like, I know I have it in that box somewhere. So you just hold it for a bit, just to make sure that everything, you know, won't come apart when you let go. So they're really pretty, these are really pretty easy to make. Unlike the crepe ones, now they have different ones that they showed. They should stick together. There you go. There you go. And then I just put a little bit more glue on the top. And then I just add a little circle. And just leave it on there. Just until it, what do you call it, dries, or whatever it is, you know. Just until it, what do you call it? Okay. So that should be done. And there you go. It might be a little bit of white showing, but you could always, if there is white showing, you can always trim that, but there it is. And then of course you could put whatever embellishment you want on top. Okay, easy peasy. This came out really cute. I don't know why that came out. Well, I could always cut that white off, so that's no problem. But basically, there you go, easy peasy little rosette. Okay, so I got that one done. Now I was trying to make some out of paper bag lunch bags. So I thought I'd try my hand on it. Same thing, same width, okay? 1 inch by 8 3/4. Now I haven't tried it yet, and I did the same thing. Now with this one, I didn't use the, what do you call it, the scoreboard. I just ended up eyeballing it, okay? I just end up eyeballing it and folding it. Folding it as close to how I wanted it. It's close to the edge of the size out. And I had to be careful because some of them can come out small and then they'll start going like sideways. So you have to make sure that it's like almost the same width. Okay, so same thing. You're just doing that little accordion and making sure that it's staying lined up and it's not going up and down. Okay. And you go all the way. Well, you go all the way to the end until you get that, you know, that accordion look. Now, I already have some that I already made. So again, I'm going to grab that part that I, what do you call it, glued down. And we're going to see how this one behaves. It's a lot faster because you don't have to, what do you call it? This is paper. It's not as daunting as using the scoreboard because you don't have to do it, you know, wait for that long. Okay, you're doing this out of paper. And you just give it a little bit. And then you put some more glue on top. And put this on top. little, you know, circle. Put it on top, and we'll see how it looks like at the other end, because this is the first time I'm doing it with the lunch bag. Oh, sometimes it gets stuck. Oops, it didn't work that well with the lunch bag, obviously. Maybe it was too thin, I don't know. Okay. I just got stuck to the table, that's why. It's not that bad. Okay, so that's how that one looks like with the lunch bag. And again, you could just, you know, put whatever embellishment, just let it dry. You could put whatever embellishment you want on the top. The lunch bag, that I really didn't care for it. Obviously, it's taking a little bit longer to dry. But I'm just gonna let it sit. So yeah, so I think your best bet is to go with the cardstock. I mean, you could still do the lunch bag, I mean, but you have to wait a little longer. I did want to try my hand at what are those called? Cupcake holders. So I was thinking about trying those as well. And then trying some acetate to see if that would work. But I have to get them. I have to find some acetate first. I mean, you can always put like sprinkle glitter on them or something like that. But I have to keep working on these, because this one, like I said, didn't take. And I could try another one. I have a few, but they're kind of flimsy. Like they really don't want to really get in there. Maybe I have them too big. I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. And it keeps running down in the middle. Which I don't want. It's not really holding, because it already fell right through. I mean, it's like just running right underneath. Like it won't even hold. I mean, I could feel the heat through my finger. I mean, yeah, it kind of like just seeps right through, but I mean, it's okay, you know. But yeah, I would recommend just the card. I mean, you could still use them, but maybe I would have to make the layers maybe a little bit smaller. But 'cause you're doing this by hand, you're not using the scoreboard, and everything's popping out. See, everything's coming off. So. Yeah, I'd have to put a lot of glue just for it to stay. I mean, it's doable. You could still use it. again, it keeps sticking. Yeah, just gotta let it dry. And you can always put like sprinkle, you know, I don't know. Do they even have spray glue? I'm not even sure. And, you know, or you can put glitter, you know, you glue and put glitter on the edges, and you can add color that way. But for the most part, yeah, I mean, they're okay. Just gotta wait for them to dry. And one no, they're about almost the same size. Okay, guys, so that's it for the, what do you call it? And like I said, I do want to try the ones with the what do you call it? The cupcake holders. I'm going to try my hand at that one. Then I had other ideas of how to, you know, do the acetate, see if that would work, and add like either what is that washi tape on the edges and something, or something to the edges to give it some more color. But yeah, okay, so that's it for today, and I will catch you in my next video. So like a fish in the sea. Thanks for catching me, and glad you caught me, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course comment. Okay, we'll see you later, guys. Bye.